E vector dot I unit vector dx plus J unit vector dy plus K unit vector dz is equal to the entire expression has to be written. I will write it as dou v by dou x into dx plus dou v by dou y into dy plus dou v by dou z into dz. Hope it is clear to you. Right. If this is clear to you, I would like to make a small modification here. Since the space is small, I am retaining the left hand side as such. Please remember, I am going to retain the left hand side as such and make a few changes on the right hand side. Because the space is small, less, I am not going to write the left hand side part which I am retaining. I am going to write only the right hand side part which I am going to change. I am carrying out this equal to sign here. Hello, this equal to sign is here, which means what is on the left hand side of the equal to sign retain is as such. Okay, I write it as I unit vector dou v by dou x plus J unit vector dou v by dou y plus K unit vector dou v by dou z. I will put it inside the bracket. Okay? Okay? I'll put a dot. Dot has meaning here, which means it's dot product. Okay? Therefore, I write it as I unit vector dx plus J unit vector dy plus K unit vector dz. Everything in bracket. You may ask me, sir, how this can be done like this? Since I unit vector dot I unit vector is equal to J unit vector dot J unit vector is equal to K unit vector dot K unit vector is 1. This can certainly be written like this. Now, since I don't have space, you imagine this is carried over here. This one comes here, which means on both sides I have a I unit vector dx plus J unit vector dy plus K unit vector dz on both sides. Therefore, what I am going to do is strike off both. This one and this one can be struck off, which means I am ending up with minus E vector is equal to I unit vector dou v by dou x plus J unit vector dou v by dou y plus K unit vector dou v by dou z. Now you need to go for a little bit of mathematics which you studied in second year. This V common, if I take it out, I will write as E vector is equal to minus I unit vector dou by dou x plus J unit vector dou by dou y plus K unit vector dou by dou z into a V. Is that clear? Now what is this? What is this? If you have studied vectors properly, you would immediately identify what is written in the bracket is a gradient. Gradient. if I can rub this off, I would tell you that this is equivalent to E vector is equal to minus gradient of V. If you are not familiar with this, familiar with the symbol, then I will write E vector is equal to minus del vector V. This is what I mean to say. This is what I mean to say. E vector is minus gradient of V, negative gradient of V. Negative gradient of V is potential. This is a relation connecting between electric potential and electric intensity. We need to look into a few more points in this expression. I will also tell you what it is. Shall I rub this off? This part alone. Okay. Now, what is the significance of this negative sign? Significance of the negative sign in that expression is that to experience, please listen to me, the significance of the negative sign in this expression is that to experience a rise in potential. Can you understand what I am saying? To experience a rise in potential, a positive charge, test charge, must be moved in a direction opposite to electric field. Finish. That is the significance of minus sign. I am repeating. I am not in a position to tell that in Tamil. Therefore, I am repeating it once again. The significance of the negative sign in that expression tells us that if you want to raise the potential, rise the potential, you need to move a unit positive test charge in a direction opposite to electric field. That is point number 1. Point number 2. If E suffix x, comma E suffix y and E suffix z are components of E along x, comma y and z axes, okay, z axes, then Ex vector into I unit vector plus Ey into j unit vector plus Ez into k unit vector will be minus dou v by dou x into I unit vector plus dou v by dou y into j unit vector plus dou v by dou z into k unit vector. Ex, Ey and Ez are components of E along x, y and z direction. Then this can be done like this. Now comparing, we can write Ex is equal to minus dou v by dou x, Ey minus dou v by dou y, Ez minus dou v by dou z. The point I would like to highlight is this. In the previous topic, we knew what is the electric field at a point. We wanted to determine electric potential at that point. We ended up with an expression for potential at that point by simply integrating electric field. Now, we want to know what is the electric field. All that you need to do is differentiate potential with respect to x. You get the Ex component, x component. Differentiate with respect to y potential, you get the y component of electric field. Similarly, if you differentiate potential with respect to z, you get the z component. You add all these three, you get what is the total electric field. So in the nutshell, if potential is differentiated suitably, you are going to end up with an electric field. One more important thing I would like to highlight here in this expression is this. I will rub this off. We all know curl of the gradient. Curl of the gradient of scalar is 0. Curl of the gradient of a scalar is 0. What I mean to say is, if there is a gradient, you take curl of this, you end up with a 0. Taking curl on both sides of this equation, we come to this equation. If I take the curl of this equation on both sides, I end up with del, okay, I will write here, del taking curl on both sides of, supposing I call this as equation 1, I end up with del cross E vector is equal to 0. Taking curl on both sides of equation 1, I am ending up with del cross E. Del cross is for curl. E vector is equal to 0. Which means I would say thus E is a non-curled or curl-free or irrotational field. Irrotational field. You take curl for an electric field, 100% you are ending up with a 0. 100% you are ending up with a 0. Hence, all lines of force, when I say lines of force, electric lines of force, begin and end on the charged bodies, because curl of an electric field is 0, because it is irrotational. I'd say all electric lines of forces, they start from a body, end on that body, which means electric lines of forces are not closed. That is the point I would like to highlight. Electric lines of forces are not closed. Electric lines of forces are not closed. If they start from a body, they will again end up at the body. They are not continuous. That's the reason why I am saying they are not closed. In other words, if you go to +2 level, I would say all electric lines of forces originate from a point charge. All electric lines of forces originate from a point charge. This brings us to the end of this derivation relation between electric potential and electric field. You can't just derive this and leave it as such. We have given what is the significance of this expression. What is the significance of the negative sign? How this can be resolved into different components. And what does it say? If you know potential at a point, electric field can as well be calculated. All that you need to do is you need to differentiate with respect to x, y or z. Apart from that, I have told you that curl of a gradient of any scalar quantity is 0. Therefore, electric field is a non-curl or a curl-free or irrotational field, which means electric lines of forces, when they start from a charged body, they are not going to end elsewhere. They end at the charged body. In other words, they start and end. They are not closed. They are not continuous. In other words, the electric lines of forces, they originate from a point charge. We stop here. Continue in the next class. Until then, goodbye.